And I'm live. Good evening, everybody. Well, it's not really even evening. It's not even dark out. Um, I'm just here for a little while or for an hour. We'll see how long this goes, how many questions there is. I do have quite a bit of haters coming in the comments these days talk about when am I ever going to get my head out of the sand and stuff like that. So I wanted to talk about that a little while. Um, you know, I did keto for 10 years, and I did destroy quite a few systems in my body, and it has been making it quite a bit of a challenge. But I did lose about 150 pounds. It's up on high carb, low fat. I'm not going to be changing that, but I keep trying to evolve this thing. The more and more I think about this durian rider thing, I'm kind of stepping away from it. It's just too much for my gut. It works for him, and I think if you really look at the people that do best on his program, here we go. I don't know what that means. The do best on his program, it's all ectomorphs, and I'm just not an ectomorph. So we're gonna see what happens. I'm cutting out the smoothies. I'm trying everything I can. I have to admit, I'm having a lot of issues with my gut. I don't know if that is because the pollen count is like astronomical and the air quality warning is terrible. You can actually hear it in my nose. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to go to something that I used to do and not do smoothies at all. It is definitely watermelon season is definitely upon us. So I'm going to be eating a lot more just fruit, not smoothies, no juices, none of that stuff, none of the ultra refined stuff. Because I mean, most people, anybody who's eaten a banana knows. I guess it could be taken a couple different ways, but anybody who's ever eaten a banana knows like you can only eat like one or two, three, before you really start getting that full feeling. Water weight. That's another thing I started today. I'm cutting back on the water. I think I was drinking so much that I was undoing my electrolytes, and that actually can make you dehydrated. So trying a bunch of different things. Once I get this 100% figured out, like completely, I'm going to probably spend the rest of my life doing coaching and helping people with this stuff. I really want to legit actually get myself figured out first before I do that. I'm not saying that I want to be like Harley Johnston ripped or anything like that. I'm really not worried about that, but just in the low 250 or 200s would be good for me. I really never see myself getting below 200. I think I would look absolutely ridiculous like that. So it's going to be heavily fruit based. Starches, I'm going to revolve around potatoes, rice, and I do have a bunch of pasta still. So I'll probably run that out, and then I might just revolve it around potatoes and rice. What else? There's not actually a whole lot of updates. I've really, quite honestly, with my brain has been on a different planet this week. I'm really having a hard time functioning. I don't know if I'm having some kind of allergies going on with all this pollen. No idea. But anyway, I'm just going to open it up. If you guys have questions or comments or whatever, just start pouring them in. We'll see where this goes. Another thing, if you're into video games and you're watching this, if you could go to my new channel, it's called Zelda Ate My Lunch. I probably will change the name. I have had so little time to work on this. Once the art job comes back late summer, I'll probably start working on graphics and everything like that. Maybe I will before that. I don't know, but I'm typically on Illustrator and stuff like that way more often during the art job life than I am when it's not going on. Maybe you're genetically prone to be big. I am. Yeah. It's crazy. In my family, you either are a stick figure or you're huge. Like there's like no in between in my family whatsoever at all. At all. And on my dad's side, it's a lot of bigger dudes. So I kind of just fit into that role. Some of my actually female cousins on that side. Um, Some of them make me look anorexic. So there's some big bones, I'll call it, on that side of the family, but we all have weird pituitary things. I actually have three people on my dad's side that all have that nodule on their pituitary glands like I do. None of us have had anything done with it because it's either have it cut out, which can go terribly wrong, or take some kind of medication or pills or whatever that can have terrible side effects. So none of us have gone through it. Are you going to play the new Zelda game? Yeah, I've talked about that on my channel. I actually just did it earlier this morning. It's very Breath of the Wild esque. I'll say that much. It's very Breath of the Wild like. But I definitely want to talk way more about that on my channel. I'm just running out of time to do everything. I tried doing Durian Rider's diet several years ago. I had trouble losing weight, but felt great except for a few changes. Drinking that much water was so annoying. Peeing every 2 hours is overrated. I think his diet works really good for him and so other people that happen to be his general genetic makeup. Um, but I think there's just a lot to I actually think Freely figured it out, but I don't think it's in any of her books. I was actually just talking to somebody about that earlier today. I mean, because if I think Freely actually figured it out, but she's such a nutcase. Okay, I subscribe to your game channel. Thanks. I keep meaning to put it in the description down below, and I keep forgetting. It's a lot easier to find it that way, but, if you go actually look me up, it actually helps me, I think, in the algorithm. I have no idea. I don't even know how many people are on there yet. I haven't had a chance to really get too many videos on there, but, yeah, I think somewhere in between the Fat Gene book, the Mucusless diet, Fully Raw, what Arnold preaches, what Durian Rider preaches, and McDougall preaches, I think somewhere in that mix is where you need to be, and I really need I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I mean, the great part about it is the 145-ish pounds that I lost when I initially went, raw and then raw till 4 has never come back. It's just this last little bit of weight. I don't like it when, you break your weapons and you can't repair them in Zelda. Yeah, at least there's I mean, so far, if you've played the game, there's a shitload, so it's not that big of a deal, and I've got, like 20-ish, 25 Zelda amiibo, so I can just keep put them on the controller and just dropping those, uh, treasure boxes out of the sky. Like a Raw till 4 kind of, yeah, but just Raw till 4 includes a lot of the dumping sugar and things, dumping a lot of smoothies and stuff like that, and I really think that causes so much digestive issues for people. I I don't know. I'm really revisiting the idea of a smoothie. I did use my Vitamix though yesterday to make fat-free hummus, and that is phenomenal. I kind of wish I would have taken I made a post about it on my Instagram. If you guys I probably will post about it on my Instagram today. So if you guys want to learn how to make a fat-free hummus, go follow me on Instagram. I'll probably post some kind of recipe for it this coming weekend. I try to get some of that stuff done on Saturday and Sunday. So we'll see. Sunday I probably won't do a whole lot, so maybe look for it on Sunday. Ryan, did you read the potato hack from Tim Steele? Good book on healing the gut and resistant starch. Yeah, I don't think resistant starch is a very good idea. And yes, I have. Well, I have listened to the book. I haven't read the book. How is hummus made fat-free? Garbanzo beans have fat in them. I mean, are we I mean, that's a bit of extreme. What is there, like 1 gram per 100? I didn't put any oil or tahini in it. I'll say it that way for those who need that 1% coverage. Yeah, I mean, almost any. thing that's not just straight sugar is going to have fat in it of some kind. I mean, it just there's probably 1 gram per 100 grams in this hummus that I made, so I don't think it's that bad. But most hummuses have like a ton of tahini in it. I mean, if you look at the nutritional label on most hummuses, it's a lot. It's like usually 25-ish% of the calories come from fat, somewhere in that range. And so probably the one that I made has maybe, I don't know, 1% fat. But and I don't use a ton of it either. So I'll probably remember to post that. I can get pretty bad with posting things. But as far as going back to, different things that I'm doing, I just try to keep everybody updated, see where everybody else is at. Um, I think I forgot to check Twitter today. I think I'm going to be interviewing that Peter Rogers, MD, on here over the weekend, hopefully. Man, I come back to your channel every now and then, and you're looking healthy. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I got. I had a comment today that I'm the most unhealthy looking person on YouTube, just because I was hating on his favorite doctor, I guess, about the sardine doctor. I don't understand why anybody would want to live on a diet of sardines and oil and all that. What's your favorite Zelda game besides Ocarina of Time? I don't like Ocarina of Time all that much. It's, I think, my top 10. I did do a top 10. Uh, no, it's not top. Maybe it's top 5. What's my favorite Zelda game? It's definitely Link to the Past. 100% favorite game in the whole series. I actually like the top-down versions better than the 3D quite a bit. It's actually the only Zelda that I've played more than once. So yeah, maybe I should do I just don't have enough people on there right now to do a live. Otherwise, I would. I should start doing a live when Nintendo puts out. Actually, this whole summer, maybe I'll do some lives on there and review. I think Sony's going to have a live event, and I think Xbox is going to have a live event. Maybe I'll start doing that. But that's really not what this is about. Did you say you're going to interview Peter Rogers? Really cool. I like him. We have been playing message tag, so hopefully that actually happens this weekend, Saturday. So hopefully that happens. If that does happen on Saturday, I likely will put the video out on Monday. So look for that video on Monday. I'm mostly high carb, but today I bought a Beyond Meat burger patty, lettuce, mayonnaise, some buns, and natural cane sugar cola. I'm going to cook them on a George Foreman. I mean, what are you gonna do? I'm not one of these huge fans of always being so strict. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why it doesn't always work. How's your sleep? Actually, the sleep's been really good. I've been getting to bed about 10 o'clock at night, 10:30, and that I find that if I go to bed at 9, I don't fall asleep. But it seems like that 10 to 11, somewhere in there, I fall asleep really good. And I haven't had to do the sugar. Oh, thanks for the chat. Whatever the chat thing. Big fan of your personality and content. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I figured my personality was either gonna rub people the wrong way or people would actually like it. I'm a absolutely love me or absolutely hate me. There seems to be no in between with me. So it is what it is. But yeah, so the sleep's been going good. Everything's been going pretty good. I love the sardine vid. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing a lot more of those reaction videos. Whenever I see one of those ridiculous videos on YouTube, I'm just saving it to my watch later thing, and I'm just gonna do reaction videos. I actually have another one though that is looks like it's a halfway decent video from this coaching health coach, I guess, out of India. Fantastic. Yeah. It seems like people really like those videos a lot more than me just rambling on. So I'm just going to definitely do a lot more of those. The only concern, of course, like always, is that the creator of the original video can get mad about it and copyright strike you. So I did run into that with Chef AJ to the point where her entire staff was on alert to watch my videos. I don't know if they still watch my videos, but I would even get emails from Chef AJ's crew if somebody made a comment about Chef AJ that I should delete it. I mean, it was really getting a bit bad. But she's just another one of these people preaching just such awful, like ridiculous things. There's just no way that we got to live like that. There's just no way. And I know people are going to see this and say, well, he's fat. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But the fact is, I did lose the 145 pounds and keep it off. Now, what's keeping it on right now? I haven't got a clue. I do all my blood work. Some of the stuff's a little off, but my liver's been off ever since I came off keto. I hope your gaming channel blows up. Honestly, if I would have done gaming instead of this channel, that thing would have blown up. If it does blow up like I think it will, this channel, I'll probably just go to the point of doing videos like 2 or 3 times a week because there's just only so much you can say. Oh, shit, I'm scheduled on DoorDash. There's only so much you can say about the whole subject. I got to change my schedule. All right. There's only so much you can say about, high carb, low fat and all that. And I try to get the message out there about barefoot living and mobility and stuff like that. But it just won't push them videos. I think I might be doing an interview with Randy Kreil. I don't know if anybody knows who that is, but he's somebody that works with Zero Shoes, because I'm really trying to get the message out there. I see people in these Hokas and these really fat padded shoes, and it's really so bad for the body. Trying to get the message out there. Actually, I think that message is almost just as important as high carb, low fat, if not maybe more, because the less mobility we have, the more likely you're going to end up in a retirement home or something like that. You can't take care of yourself anymore. Like my great grandma, that woman walked and did she never even knew how to drive. And she walked and everything. She was 95 and then she had a stroke. And then shortly after that, it was out, she was gone. But, it's people like that I've seen in my family over the years, the ones who always stayed mobile and walking and everything, that, those are the ones that live till like 85, 87, 88. 95, 102. I mean, that's the kind of age ranges I've seen in my family, but it was only the ones who either had a very physical job, always stayed physical, always did something. And another thing that my dad and I have noticed, and actually my uncle and I were talking about, when people retire and they retire to like a ranch or something that has one floor, it's not too short after they get rid of the stairs in their house that they start having a lot of health issues. So even those, just a little bit of climbing stairs every day, might be very good for your health. So anyway, that's almost more of going to become more of a focus of mine than the diet. But you have a lot of knowledge, and I love your channel. I'm not gonna ever. Well, I might get rid of this channel if I can get the other one up and running, because they still have that restriction on there from when I mentioned whatever was happening in 2020. I still have the restriction on there. I've appealed it a few times, and because of that, they really restrict how much they'll send my videos out. Hey, Ryan. Hey, I agree. People who don't exercise regularly end up getting the most physical pain when they're older. Yeah, and it's like you lose it or move it or lose it. It goes from anything like so anything on the body, move it or lose it. It's just like when I had to have my ankle replaced, I couldn't walk for, I think it was 3 months. You should have seen my calf. I could actually see my bones through my skin. So your body doesn't take very long. And then actually it started pulling the the tissues out of my skeleton, and I was walking one day and my foot actually cracked. My diet mostly consists of blueberries, potatoes, and beans. My brain is thanking me all the taste potassium rich food. I mean, if it works for you, awesome. There's a book on it talking about longevity and physical capability, rather prolonging lifespan. Yeah, I think we should be looking at that way more than that, what's his name? Some of these people I can't stand, I block them out of my head. Oh, man. The guy that's always promoting beans and everything. Anyway, that guy's talking about the less you eat, the longer you live, but I would 100% the more mobile you are, the more you move, the more exercise, and I don't know about exercise, I hate that word, but the more activity level that you have, I think is gonna be way better lifespan. Now, if you're eating KFC along with that, then, it's not gonna do too good, but if you're having, decent diet and you're having, a decent activity level, I think that's far more for your lifespan than anything else. Why can't I think of that guy's name? Dr. Furman, yeah. Furman, that guy. Instead of talking about how to, build a gas bomb in your intestines, um, you really should be looking into, mobility. So anyway, the point of that was I really want to start pushing that, but every time I make a video about it, it really just doesn't send it out. And that is just so irritating to me. That's actually another reason I started the Patreon. I was going to do that kind of stuff there, but I guess maybe got to figure out different pricing or something for that Patreon. I just, yeah, I honestly, I've run out of time to get everything done. Once I can get one of these set, then I'll probably do a lot more with the others. All right. Any more commentary here? I don't know what else to talk about right now. I'm actually one of them people that if you're at a party and I'm not like a what's the weather like or any like small talk type person. So I can't I'm not one of those. I don't have the gift of gab. I can't just sit up here and talk about nonsense for an hour. Yeah. Anybody check out the Zero Shoes links that I put in? I keep putting them in there hoping people check out those shoes. I think that's a great place to start as far as mobility goes. Maybe you did too much damage to your body on the keto diet and it's harder to lose all the weight. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, because when I started the keto diet, well, I showed you guys the picture, but I think I was 215, 225, something like that. I mean, I really was not that overweight, and I really, really, uh, I don't know why the hell I started. Sleep mask, earplugs is seriously a game changer. It's fun looking after my health, like a fun video game. Yeah, the sleep mask and the earplugs. I actually started doing the earplugs. I was working at a caulking manufacturer. And I noticed this guy always taking these huge handfuls of the earplugs because we had these huge boxes of them because it was really loud there. And I'm like, "What the hell do you do with all these earplugs?" He's like, "Oh, I sleep with them in." I said, "What? That doesn't that freak you out?" And he's like, "Nah." He's like, "It's magic." And so I started taking them too. And yeah, I gosh, this was back in 2004. So it's almost 20 years now that I've been doing the earplugs. And then after I saw During Rider talking about the sleep mask, is when I got that, and I think that was 5 or 6 years ago now, and I've got the same one, it's really beat up, probably should change it out, but yeah, it helps quite a bit. I know some people get freaked out about that, like, if somebody comes in the house, you're kinda screwed, I get that. My favorite During Rider video is the one he talks about sleep hormones. Yeah, I don't know. I actually talked to, I don't know if you're talking about the one that I did. I actually did an view with him. I think it was the last interview with him, and we were talking about that whole thing. And he was talking about, and I agree now that, if you just lay there, that right there is rest, and that kind of counts. He's a good talker and pretty funny as well. Yeah, he's a good talker. He definitely, I think he has the gift of gab more than I do. I'm more of a silent type, not like I'm the one that's over there meditating in the corner, just the observer. I'm more of an observer than anything. I know people. There's actually a decent amount of people that have DM'd me and want to meet in the like in real life, and I'm always hesitant to do that because I'm not the most talkative. I tend to be kind of an observer. I I think that was probably the reason I was so good at sales was because I listen to what people are saying, but then I kind of use it against them. Not in a bad way, but like anyway, I can listen to it for hours. How you are really nice to hear. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't I mean I can talk for hours if I have a subject to talk about, but I'm also most people call me the observer. A lot of people say I'm distant too, so I don't know. There's some traits that maybe not so desirable. But yeah. So anyway, but as far going back to the sleep, because it seems to be coming up in this video quite a bit. Yeah, I would 100% recommend the earplugs. Matter of fact, over the earplugs, definitely more than the eye mask. It's for me, it's a game changer with the earplugs, especially because here it starts getting light out in the morning, probably around 4, and that's when the birds start chirping. And if you got earplugs in, you don't really hear them. Apart from low fat, it seems B12 and iron enable more oxygen through the body, hence increase the ability to lose weight. I think exercising is not as effective weight loss wise as diet. No, I mean, diet is always going to be more effective than exercise in any weight loss thing. But I think anybody who is just sitting around, I mean, even if you're young, I don't think that's good. I mean, because like I said, the from my observations from the time I was little, the ones who made it to the late 80s, early 90s, I even had some family make it to the hundreds, were the ones who like either didn't have a car or were just very mobile, cleaning their house still when they were older, just different stuff, had stairs in their house. So I mean, they weren't concerned whatsoever with weight loss. They were all in pretty good shape. I don't think it's a good idea to just start taking iron and or B12 unless you get tested for it because you really want to know that you have a deficiency. I know my iron is definitely not deficient whatsoever. I had the doctor tell me that he would almost thought it was uh, he thought it was almost doping. So there was that. My B12 is always within range. So if you're somebody like me too who has high hemoglobin and you start taking a bunch of B12, that can thicken your blood even more and make it even more likely that you might have a stroke. So there is that. So anyway, that's why I always say get tested, blood tested, and it's a lot more advantage to get tested than to just to take this stuff randomly. And that's another thing. Like if I would have listened to McDougall with vitamin D about how toxic it can be, I would never have taken it, but mine actually got to level 6, which is extremely low. And so I started taking it, but I wouldn't have if I had listened to him. So I think getting blood tests is always the best. I know sometimes insurance won't cover it, or people don't have insurance or whatever. So yeah, that does suck. So I guess you really have to take that into your own hands, and if you want to do it or not. I need some earplugs. I have a neighbor who has a barking dog. I keep forget to buy some though. Yeah, the dog thing. Luckily, luckily we don't have any barking dogs around here. I am not a dog person. I think they belong out in the trees where we found them. But a lot of people like having dogs. It's just not my thing. But yeah. So earplugs for that. For me, it's more the birds. Or actually, this morning, the squirrels were screaming at each other. They like to get on. I wish I had video of it. They like to get on the roof of my house and start screaming at each other from the other side of the. It's comical unless you're trying to sleep. just as long as they don't get in the house, which has happened before. Not this one, but another house, that I lived in. But yeah, 100%, the earplugs are definitely, and get the highest decibel rated that you can find. I think the highest I've ever found is like 36 decibel. That's, that really helps it quite a bit. Really dampens the noise. And the eye mask too. I mean, I'm not gonna say the eye mask isn't good, but if you're only gonna be willing to do one, the earplugs are definitely the one I would choose, but I guess, play around with it and see how it goes. But back to the exercise for, weight loss versus diet. I mean, there's no way you can't even compare the 2. You're never I mean, you can out exercise a bad diet. You see people doing it all the time, and those are generally the people that have a heart attack by the age 40, and everybody's like, "Well, he was so healthy, he ran all the time," you know? I knew a guy, I think he's actually dead now, and he was only like 38, 39. This guy used to ride in the trainer in his basement for like 4 or 5 hours a day, but he finished every ride with an entire gallon of ice cream. And it's like, how do you not see and then he got cancer when he was like 32. I haven't heard from him in years. I think he died. But, so you got examples like that. Yeah, sure, you can out exercise a terrible diet, but it's concentrating what's going on even more. Honestly, you can get, earplugs designed to fit in your ear canal and are seriously effective. You can. I mean, I priced that back in the day, and it was pretty expensive. Squirrels are really cute. We don't have them in Israel. Yeah, I guess import them. I'm very impressed with the Zero Aqua Export, shoes for trail running, especially with the crazy rain lately, and my feet finally seem strong enough to use them on, really, gnarly, rocky trails. Yeah, I can't understand when I see people wearing these high heels or thick padding in their shoes. I'm like, "Damn, you just hate your feet that bad." And then they take their shoes off and their toes are pointed in and, scrunched up, and it's like, this isn't what it's like, do if you're asking somebody if you wanna do, what's the best way to do push-ups, would you wanna put your hands in like this, or would you want them to spread and be able to grab, the earth underneath you? Or it's like, if you wanna, get your biceps or triceps as strong as possible, do you think it'd be better to put them in a removable cast or to work them out, you know? And this is kinda what people are doing to themselves. Do you feed the birds and squirrels? Nope. Nope. Do not waste money on that. I mean, there is plenty of stuff around here to eat. The only thing that you do have to watch for at night is the raccoons do like to hang out around my garbage can because there's always like, watermelon or whatever rind in there, and they love to eat that. Uh, the squirrels are probably scared to go to Israel. It doesn't seem like the right climate for them. I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe, fly some over and see what happens. Probably be considered an invasive species. Yeah. I mean, there's gotta be something similar to the squirrels over there. They have to be some kinda, like, nut trees or something like that. I have no idea. No idea. That's actually there's only a few handful of countries that I actually wanna go to. Ireland, Japan, and Israel is one of the ones that I actually really wanna go to. I have little interest in going to UK. I'm not one of these, like, Americans who always really wants to go to Italy. I have no real interest in that, but yeah, Ireland, Japan, and Israel. I would just maybe I would grow my beard out because when I worked at this one post office, Cleveland Heights, it's a lot of, Hasidic Jews there, and they all thought I was, Jewish. I guess it's my nose, so I would just pass off. Frozen blueberries are, super expensive UK, but I feel they're worth it for my health. What are your thoughts on health is, wealth type thinking? I think it's a good way of thinking. I do. I think health, you no matter, because like I've said in my videos before, I got family that is super wealthy, and a lot of them like to brag about how their 12, 13, 14, $1,500 of scotch and all this kind of stuff, and they drink the entire thing in an evening, and they're not healthy at all. And then when their health declines, they're like, "Oh, I don't know what happened," and they just keep on going that way. I would rather have uh, exercising, make it look good from the outside, but won't start from, yeah, yeah, clogging up the arteries and everything. And that's what happens. It concentrates what's going on, I think, in the body, because you do see, over my lifespan, I've seen a lot of people who have passed who were marathon runners or cyclists or whatever, and they just had a terrible diet. My go-to smoothie is blueberries with 5 banana. It's the best. If you like it, I'm actually not the biggest fan of berries. I have been, drinking a lot more water now that I look I took it out of the fridge. I don't miss the cold. I hate cold water. You look like my nephew, the cutest in the world. I highly doubt I'm the age of your nephew. I don't know what it is. I'm as Irish as it can get. Well, I am Irish Slovak, so maybe I don't know, maybe that comes out to look like I belong in Israel, but I don't know. I don't they used to start talking about, um, the satyrs and all that kinda stuff with me, and I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea. I have gone to a couple temples, though, and they just let me right in. I just they got the handout, the yarmulkes, is that what they're called, at the entrance, and I just whatever. Glasses. But yeah. Yeah, that's definitely one of the countries I wanna see, if I could see glasses. So anyway, that's what's going on right now. As far as the cold water, I don't know how anybody can like cold water. It's like sweet potatoes. I don't almost don't believe people when they tell me they like cold water. My dad does it, but I don't know. Exercise all you want. If you're eating a bad diet, it won't stop your arteries from clogging up. Well, that's basically what you just said, only in better English. Yeah. So, yeah, it's not gonna help. It's not gonna help at all. Your exterior is gonna look fine, but the interior is not gonna go well. Cold water makes you feel hydrated, when you're not, and it's harder to chug. I mean, you can try to sell, cold water as much as you want to. I do not like it. There it is. I do not like it. Check out, Peter Rogers, MD, What I Eat in a Day, says some pretty interesting things. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm gonna have him on the channel hopefully this weekend, and video will be out Monday. Um, I do have, some questions to ask him, especially about water and some of the contradictory stuff that he's got on his channel. So we'll see what happens with that. Um, but yeah, so hopefully we have been playing message tag. No, I was trying to say it's not, good. Yeah. Oh, it didn't read like that. I'm retarded when it comes to reading. I suck at writing and reading. Uh, no, it's not good. It's not good. I mean, I know there's that Wim Hof method of thinking. Maybe getting in cold water is good for you, and it helps get rid of inflammation. Maybe that's good for you. I don't know. I tried it for a year. I really didn't notice too much benefit from it, honestly. And then I made the video about it, and he copyright struck me, so they took it down. But I think that using it as a tool, because it does actually cause a lot of thermodynamics, and it does cause you to lose weight. So there is some benefit there. I like how Peter Rogers really emphasizes the point of potassium. I have not seen that. I gotta admit, I've watched maybe 5 of 6 of his videos. I actually like when I don't watch too many videos of somebody before I interview them, because if I know too much, I uh I lead the interview too much, and I don't like to do that. I like to let it kind of just control itself. Some have gone terribly wrong, but most of them have gone right. There has been a few that it went so wrong that I didn't even put them out. Happens. Thoughts on not jacking off? Um, I don't really see the point. I suppose it if you release a lot, if you're rubbing it every day or whatever, you do release a lot of the male energy, and that can be a problem. I suppose if you got a vasectomy, you could jack off all you wanted, you wouldn't release any of the energy. But I don't, I'm not holding back. I mean, I don't really do that very often. It's more what women are for. But I don't know. Cold water is refreshing to me. Yeah, I mean, after jumping in it, I can't drink it. I mean, I know some people can do that, but that is not my thing. I don't want people taking that last statement that they're gonna like. If I was famous, they would run to the news already with it. That's what women are for. I think it's better when there is sex involved, not just straight jacking off. And I think that if somebody is really watching, I can't even say that word. I'll say born a lot. Uh, you get desensitized. So if you actually do have sex, it's not that thrilling, and your sensitivity goes away, and you're just humping away for hours, and or it goes down, or whatever. And I think a lot of us have gone through that, and and then the woman gets a complex about it because she thinks it's her. But it's really not. You just desensitize yourself, and I don't think it's very good if you're going to be watching that stuff. I think it's better off to go find somebody. If you're not very good at finding somebody, find somebody who is not maybe terribly attractive or who doesn't really have good like self-esteem or something like that. And maybe you guys can help each other with that. But as far as I don't know, there's different situations, for as far as the jacking off thing goes. I don't think it's the healthiest thing in the world if you are constantly doing it and not willing to find somebody else, because no matter how ugly you might think you are, there's somebody of the opposite sex, or if you like the same sex or whatever, that also thinks that about themselves. You might not be a very good match in the beginning, but you might help each other out. I found my hormones and energy tanked when I was doing it frequently, so I recommend just going with what the body says. Well, I mean, if you do, I mean, you can do that. I don't know how women's operating system works, but for men, if you go long enough, you will wake up in a puddle because your body's going to do it for you. I don't think it's very good to do it all the time. If I don't do what I feel like I'm going to explode, yeah, you can go past that point, and then your body will take care of it on its own. I just don't think it's very good to do all the time. I know there's like the no fap November, and then there's like do it as much as you can in December thing that goes on. Being in a relationship is tough these days. It is. I didn't say being in a relationship. I said find somebody that has the same uh wavelength as you. You can only attract somebody in the same wavelength that you exist in. So if you think you're gonna find somebody that's very self-confident and you don't have it, you might get them for a night, but you're not gonna keep them. And vice versa. If you're somebody who's in a different realm, and somebody else comes along, it might seem like it's going real good in the beginning, and then you realize that this person's just not in the same wavelength as you, and it's over. I'm kind of like probably shouldn't even say this, but I can really cut things off like real quick. uh, uh, take the emotions out of things very quick and just walk. So I think you have to get to that point. Uh, but maybe that's me. I don't know. I have been single now for coming on a year, but I haven't really found anybody that. Well, there's a few people. There might be stuff going on, but we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, as far as the no fap, I mean, I don't know. I'm never, getting married again. Yeah, I don't know that I would ever do that again. I did that. Tried it out. Uh, that didn't fit. Sent the shoes back, and I was over with it. Yeah. That one was, yeah, I don't know. I think it's more of an institution to please other institutions. I don't really know. I think if you guys are together and, that's about it. What about Sandy? No, that ship has sailed. I just don't man. Uh, I just think she needs somebody different than me. But I could be wrong. Who knows? We could be together forever. I have no idea. I don't think that's gonna happen. It just seems like the whole love thing is just a story like Santa Claus. Well, I think all right, so this is the thing. Women live in some fantasy world that doesn't exist, and they think that everybody else lives in that fantasy world, and it just isn't reality. And as people get older, as women get older, as men get older, I think that the fantasy world kind of just dies with getting older, and I think the reality starts really coming in, and I think that's when you'll find your better relationship. But that could be me. But that's just an observation for somebody who likes to observe people. I think it comes from my grandma. She used to take us to O'Hare because she lived in Chicago. And we used to just go watch people, and I think that's where my observation of people came from. I really liked those times. I like doing that kind of stuff. But now you can't do any of that. All right, I think I'm going to be closing it up soon because I got to go grind that midnight oil, whatever that means. So, any more thoughts, concerns, questions, whatever? Nothing. All right. Well, I'll stay on here till 50, and then 50 minutes, and I'm gonna get heading out of here. And this thing just does not stop. Maybe I won't. Two hearts come together and get married. Her heart belongs to her husband, but her body belongs to other men's. If you marry a woman with a high body count, yeah, I yeah, that very likely. I'm curious about Julia Boer's weight gain of 50 kilograms trying raw till 4. I don't know who that is. It wouldn't surprise me though. A lot of these people were anorexic, or a lot of these people are anorexic. I could look into it. Is this old stuff or new stuff? I mean, even talking about raw till 4 is kind of old news. Good luck on the weight loss. You can do it. I mean, if it happens, it happens. I don't like to attach myself to outcomes because then you just disappoint yourself sometimes. But yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna get heading out of here. Anything else? Not seeming like it. All right, I'm gonna go. I'll probably do one on Tuesday at 7:15 Eastern. If you guys can join for that. I don't know how I'm gonna do these in the summer because I know people are got more stuff to do. If life is about getting laid, what a waste. Yeah, I mean the people that I know who do that are the most miserable people. Totally, and doing something for the reward at the end makes it harder. Oh yeah, you talk. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get heading out of here. Talk to you next time.